Good morning, welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Friday, finally Friday, October the 17th. We're here to look at the rest of the cozy mysteries that were released this week into the wild, published this week. I have a sneeze coming, so apologize in advance for that if it develops. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're going to have a good weekend. Elena says, good morning. Well, good morning. How you doing? She says, I'm happy the Dodgers won yesterday. Oh, did they? My mom will also be happy. That's her team. Last night I went to the library yesterday, and I donated a lot of books and returned one of my books yesterday. And we drove to the library in the afternoon. It was amazing. Well, fantastic. What a great day. She says, I love it. Oh, what a great day. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. They go for 5 hours. We do sprinting every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoon. Let us jump into Cozy Mysteries. There's just a few left. We finished off on the Bigfoot, albino Bigfoot. Dead and Breakfast, first in the Dead and Breakfast series by Kat Hillis and Rosie Thor. Oh, vampires. Married odd couple Arthur and Sal are totally normal. They wear sunscreen not because the sun can kill them, but because even the undead need a skincare regimen. They eat garlic whenever they want, though it gives Sal indigestion. They can talk to creatures of the night, but only the raccoons that rifle through the garbage. Really, they don't bite except into delicious baked goods. Ready to settle down and stay out of trouble, the two have opened a bed and breakfast in the idyllic, if not so paranormal-friendly town of Trident Falls, Oregon. But trouble finds them when the mayor is discovered dead in their begonias with 2 puncture wounds in his neck. With the help of a werewolf barista, the elven town coroner, and a very human city manager, Arthur and Sal will need to prove they aren't literally out for blood by catching a killer. Vampires. I'm out. I'm out. Oops. A Stroke of Murder by Tracy Gardner, 5th in the Shepherd Sisters mysteries. And a very startled dog. Savannah Shepherd is wishing for snow. Her Lake Michigan town needs a good cold snap to showcase the Winter Festival and the sparkling ice sculpture exhibit she's curated. Once the weather starts cooperating, she can relax and enjoy the festive season with her loved ones. But all is not merry and bright in small-town Carson, as chaos puts her holiday cheer on ice. Her ex-boyfriend's mother is attacked in a robbery at the prestigious art museum, and then the black tie event at Savannah's local art museum goes horribly wrong. Thieves have stolen priceless paintings, and many more have been defaced with menacing graffiti. Friends and colleagues become suspects, and the bodies are piling up. Who can she trust? Now, instead of enjoying the glow of Christmas and preparing to marry the single dad doctor who holds her heart, Savannah turns amateur sleuth. Can she crack the case before her happily ever after melts away? Witching Around the Clock by Kathleen Lynn, fourth in the Good Luck Cluck Magical Mysteries by Catherine Lynn. Good morning, Mary. Happy Friday, TGIF. Hope everyone is warm and feeling good today. Getting ready for a show tomorrow. Oh, lovely. And really, that's right, you were making jewelry for this. And really not quite got it all together. You don't have to get it all together. Just show up with your jewelry and be yourself. Well, good luck at the show. It will go marvelous. We're getting closer to Christmas. Hopefully people are in the mood. Tara Hart is ready to settle in and enjoy Windfall's annual Desert Wildflower Festival. That is, until a prominent local historian, Professor Eleanor Graves, is found dead at the bottom of a ladder in the town's historical archives, as one does. Tara's witchy instincts and her snarky talking chicken familiar, Henrietta, tell her there's more to the story than just an accidental fall in the stacks. With a town full of secrets, a murderer on the loose, and her magic still a work in progress, Tara can't resist digging into the mystery. As she uncovers a web of lies, old grudges, and hidden motives, Tara finds herself tangled in a case that hits close to home. Eleanor's research threatened to expose the dark history of Windfall's most powerful families, and everyone had a reason to want her silenced. Can Tara solve the murder before the festival's final bloom wilts, or will she become the next victim of Windfall's deadly past? You know, you almost had me until you had the talking chicken. And isn't that a sentence you never thought you'd hear? Or say. Mary says, that's what I'm hoping for. I have not booked many shows this fall, winter, and so revenue for me is way, way down. Not that I make all that much at a show, but still every little bit helps. Absolutely. Well, do you have business cards? You know, be sure to be handing those out a lot, because maybe they need to not be impulse buyers and think about it a little bit more. Of course, I believe all my Christmas shopping is done. Dog, Cat, Ghost by Julie Titterington. Dying was easy. Solving her own murder, not so much. When a young woman's death rattles a quiet coastal town, two very different investigations begin. One by a mortician who suspects the body on her slab was the victim of foul play, and one by the victim herself. Lily Vargas can't move on until she identifies her killer, a tricky prospect for a ghost no one can see or hear. Fortunately, she's got help from a pair of afterlife fixers, the mortuary's resident talking cat and a dachshund with serious clout. Together, this oddball team follows the mortician's every move, though Imogen Tibbets has no idea her pets and one very determined ghost are also on the case. As Lily and Imogen chase the truth from opposite sides of the grave, one thing becomes clear. A killer's closer than you could have imagined. But you just can't beat a talking chicken. End of that row. It is apparently Talking Animals Day. And vampires. Down with talking chickens. I'm down with talking animals. I just don't like it. But chickens? Holy moly. And Elena says, hello to Mary. And Mary says, have business cards with my email address, but don't have a website, which is what most people want. You could put them on your Facebook. Just a thought. You already have a Facebook page. Cocoa Carols and Conspiracy by Lucy Penbrook. The annual Christmas cookie crawl should be the coziest event of the season. Well, at this point, there's a Christmas tree on the cover. It's probably a talking Christmas tree. Carols on the square, cocoa at Books and Brew, and holiday cheer on every corner. But when the town choir director is found dead just before the tree lighting festival, Piper Page's holiday plans take a chilling turn. With the help of the Murder Mystery Book Club and her clue-finding cat Jazz, Piper dives into the case. Rival carolers, cranky council members, and cookie crawl competitors all have something to hide, and the suspect list is longer than Santa's naughty list. Between managing festival chaos, wrangling the book club's antics, and working alongside Detective Luke Harper, Piper must catch the killer before Christmas cheer turns into Christmas fear. A Tale of Village Murder by Lucy Emblem, first in the Charity and Muffin Cozy English Mysteries. Mary says, going later this morning to meet with meeting friends. Oh, fun! And we're going to try to work with resin. Ooh, never done it before, so it should be fun. Ooh, very cool. I've never done it, the resin, but I was really wanting to make pendulum resin with, you know, the flowers and stuff in there, or even like a gemstone. That would be cool. How fun. Charity has swapped wind-swept walks on the Malvern Hills for a quieter life in the charming Malvern View Retirement Village. Sharing the quaint gardener's cottage with her spirited friend Dorothy, 3 lively dogs, and 3 curious cats, she's ready for peaceful days of tea, gossip, knitting, and the occasional crossword. But no sooner have they arrived than odd things begin to happen. First, petty thefts, then an attack, and finally a body is found in the carefully tended flower beds. Drawing on her deep experience of growing up in a village in the 1950s to make sense of it all, Charity is soon up to her neck in danger. With her fluffy dog Muffin at her heels and Dorothy always ready for a flask of tea and a theory, Charity sets out to untangle the mystery. Can 2 determined ladies and their furry companions crack the case before the killer strikes again? A Curiously Convenient Demise, 7th in the Dinner Lady Detectives series by Hannah Hendy. The higher the bid, the heavier the price. Summerview Secondary School is holding its annual charity auction. Marjorie and Clementine Butcherbaker are on hand to prepare delicious baked goods for the big day with the assistance of Clementine's mysterious sister, Maria. As the auction begins, chaos erupts when Eleanor Black, the owner of Dusto Museum, is found murdered in the stage storeroom. Maria has vanished. Her fingerprints cover the crime scene. Clementine refuses to believe her sister is capable of murder and is sure they need to widen the search. Eleanor has a long list of enemies. Old grudges resurface and hidden motives come to light. Only one thing is certain. Dusto is a town full of secrets and someone who will kill to keep them. Crystal Clear Visions by Leanne Leeds, first in the Midweek Mindslider mysteries. Alright, in for something different. Mary says, these authors would be lost in their plots if they didn't have talking animals to help solve cases. True. Getting a bit repetitive. Very true. Fortuna Delphi thought her days of magical catastrophes were behind her. At 40, she has a successful art gallery, a vampire husband who makes the perfect cup of tea, and a ghost dog who refuses to cross over. Life in Mystic's End is as normal as it gets for a telepathic witch until a letter arrives from a Boston law firm. Now Fortuna has inherited a psychic shop called The Mind's Eye in the secretive town of Mistwich Hollow, from a father she never knew existed. But this isn't just an inheritance, it's a mystery wrapped in magical conspiracy. According to her father's final message, delivered through a memory crystal after his suspicious death, I was murdered, Fortuna, and whoever did it will come for you next. With the reluctant help of her blue-haired cousin Phoenix, the not-so-subtle opposition of senior coven member Vivian Crane, and a homeowners association hiding magical secrets, Fortuna must uncover the truth about her family's past before the killer strikes again. Oh, apparently this is a spin-off from another series. Goodness. End of that row. I just want... I feel like those cranky old people, I want it the way it used to be. You know, real books. The Secret Room in Grangeback Manor. Book number 38 in the Mysteries of Stickleback Hollow by C.S. Woolley. I love these. It says, Sarah Lady Investigates. Boom. Alright, that's all we need to know. Love it. Gemological Hearts and Hidden Treasures by J.C. Valentine. 4th in the Seabreeze Cove Mysteries. Gemologist Kate Fuller arrives in Seabreeze Cove expecting a routine consultation on decorative stones. Instead, she uncovers uncut gems worth millions hidden in Margaret's garden, gems processed using techniques that shouldn't exist. When her discovery catches the attention of insurance investigator Jackson Cross, Kate finds herself drawn into both a federal investigation and an unexpected partnership with someone whose sharp mind and protective instincts make her pulse race. As Kate traces the origins of Margaret's mysterious collection, she discovers connections to international gem trafficking. trafficking and family secrets spanning generations. But when her investigation attracts dangerous attention from criminals who view Catherine Stewart's suppressed innovations as profitable commodities, Kate must decide whether her growing feelings for Jackson are worth the risk of exposing both their hearts and their lives to those who kill for treasure. Oh, well, that one's gone now. Lakeside Lodge Murder by Sophia Blake, 7th in the Hartbridge Mysteries. When autumn paints New England in fiery reds and golds, the town of Hartbridge is ready to shine with new life and young businesses. The long-neglected Lakeside Lodge is reopening. Drew's Brews is hosting its first Oktoberfest, and both the locals and the tourists are showing up for the fun. But for former teacher Sarah Thompson, it's the perfect season to celebrate her hometown until a visiting travel writer turns up dead floating in the lake. At first, his death looks like a mysterious accident. But as Sarah starts asking questions, she uncovers a tangle of old grudges, buried secrets, and questionable alibis, all tied to the lodge's shadowy past. She, along with her best friend Karen and former student turned investigative reporter Deshawn, gets closer and closer to unraveling the horrible facts behind 2 deaths related to the lodge spanning more than 30 years. And then there's Sergeant Fred Eldridge, Hartbridge's most colorful conspiracy theorist, who swears this is evidence of several species of aliens preparing for the imminent first contact if we don't try to destroy them first. End of that row. Elena says, I'm back now. Okay. Good to see you again. Death by Jack-o'-lantern. 8th in the the Heist Society Investigate series by Brittany E. Brinegar and J. E. Brinegar. Harborwick, Maine, 1925. When a mysterious treasure hunter leaves Jack Bentley a seaside estate in coastal Maine, as one always gets inheritances like that, Penelope Van Kessler agrees to tag along, but the crumbling mansion isn't just creaky, it's cursed, or so the town says. And we're going to stop there because they changed the release date. Well, this row is not being very helpful. Fool Me Twice and Homicide by Patty Larson, 5th in the Fleming Family Cozy Mysteries. Nelson Delamonte might be sus, but he's still commanding attention from Fleming investigations, which means Fiona Fleming is on the case when he asks her to take part in an event he's funding. He didn't tell her she'd wind up underground in a Cold War bunker with a bunch of 20-something influencers, or that she'd be facing off with a security firm hired by the creator of the event. Well, you didn't ask very many questions, did you? Or that she'd have to solve a murder. At least she has help, though she's not sure the so-called deception expert Petal Morgan is entirely trustworthy. And then again, beggars can't be choosers in situations like this one. The death is just the beginning, and now Fee and Petal have to figure out who done it while escaping from said underground bunker before the time runs out, and they'll all die. No pressure or anything. Now this is a unique cover. Excuse me. Very pretty. Lone Man's Rock, 2nd in the In Time to the Music series by Pamela Harju. Professor Vanessa Naylor needs her questionable gift of musical warnings when a favor for a friend leaves her and Remy stranded with an eccentric millionaire. A friend of Vanessa's asks her to negotiate the sale of a rare violin in the possession of a reclusive collector, and her multi-talented sidekick Remy Dunford offers to use the use of his father's boat to get her to the hermit's private island off the coast of Ireland. When a storm hinders their return journey and they discover their host is not who they thought he was, securing the instrument at an acceptable price becomes the least of their worries. Dead Unpopular 6th in the Pumpernickel Mysteries. When Charity Pinfold, the head of global education empire Knossos, is blown to pieces in her brand new Bentley, the world takes notice. Many of her staff rejoice, but not Dom, the young saxophone-playing chemistry teacher who loves her, despite the fact she dumped him. When Dom confesses to the murder, his colleague Serena knows he couldn't have done it, but who will persuade Dom to change his plea? Enter veteran lawyer Leo Wengrowski. He gets Dom out of jail only to face the wrath of Henry Wilcox, the 80-year-old former porn king who founded Knossos, who is determined to avenge Charity. Those who become involved in the battle for justice include a flute-playing vicar with a mysterious past, a spirited young pianist, a children's illustrator, a teacher of the Alexander technique, a veteran campaigner for victims' rights, a former IRA terrorist, and some very dodgy Texans. Fortunately, Leo has the constant support of his partner, Dr. Marion Fitzwalter, and the active involvement of his dog, Pumpernickel, which enables him to ignore the disparagement of his old friend, the veteran crime reporter, Dennis Arbuthnot. Do we need to know all these things? Probably not. Oh, I just remembered. 3 more we're going to do drive-bys because the bell's about to ring here. A Crimson Conspiracy by Clara Seacroft, part of the Karen McLaren Cozy Mystery Series. Looks like it is set in the Spain's Costa del Sol. And these next 2 I do recall had talking animals. The Case of the Talking Tabby by Donna Michaels and Justina Michaels, first in the Claw and Order Cat Cafe Mysteries. Talking cat. And not only did we have talking chickens, we have a talking pony. Pony Confidential by Christina Lynch. Hell, the Phone. When was this published? Oh, thank God. It was last year, so it doesn't count. Huzzah! That is it. We're going to get rid of that one right now. For this week. Not a huge amount, but a goodly amount. And some good ones. In the bigger names. Well, Mary, good luck at your show. Have fun. I know you do. You make friends wherever you go, but have fun. Oh, I already had my banner up, didn't I? I'm just not paying attention. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Again, I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon, Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I really do. You guys are the best. Read good books, relax, enjoy fall, and as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom. Have a good day. God bless. It ended right on time. Have a great weekend, everyone. Warm and safe, and lots of good reading for each of you. Back at you, baby.